There's no way to make that look cute on camera. But you know that feeling when you drink wine and it makes your mouth pucker up on the inside? That's tannins, and we're talking about them today. Hello again. I'm Annie Shapiro, certified sommelier, and we are 11 days in. Thanks so much for following along. Today is all about tannins. Let's get started. Have you been trying any of the techniques I've taught you so far? If so, let me know in the comments, and of course, ask me any questions you have. If you haven't subscribed or enrolled, now is the perfect time to click that link so you can stay up to date with us, what we're drinking, what we're smelling, and what we're tasting, and get a copy of all the class notes. Today's episode is dedicated to tannins. What are they? How do we talk about them in wine tasting? And why do they matter? Tannins come from the seeds, skins, and stems of crushed grapes. They can create a green, vegetal, astringent quality on the palate, almost as if the saliva is getting sucked out of your mouth. Imagine biting into an unripe piece of fruit. You know that feeling when your cheeks pucker in? Like this? Scientifically speaking, tannins are a subset of polyphenols, which you might have heard of when talking about antioxidants and heart-healthy foods. Polyphenol molecules exist all throughout the plant world. You can find them in bark and leaves, in dark-skinned berries. Polyphenols are also present in coffee and chocolate and tea, as well as the skins, seeds, and stems of grapes. They are believed to exist in nature as a natural defense against being eaten. Well, that might work on bugs, but not on humans. Sorry, grapes. Humans have been eating and drinking them for centuries and have even discovered some health benefits associated with tannins, like the prevention of heart attacks. But getting back to tannins in wine, when the grapes are pressed after harvest, the skins and seeds and stems all make it into the mix at first, and the longer they're in contact with the juice, the more of an effect these tannins will have on the texture of the wine. Both grape variety and how the winemaker chooses to proceed will determine the tannic structure of the wine even years later. Tannin, like almost everything, is best in moderation. When wines are young and very tannic, you can feel the puckering in your mouth, and it doesn't feel great. We describe these tannins as green, aggressive, or slightly bitter. When you notice them, but they don't really bother you or disrupt the quality of the wine, we call them grippy, like little hooks that pull at your tongue and the sides of your mouth. Very important note, this feeling is different from acidity. Acidity tingles. Tannins pull and pucker. When tannins are at their best, they feel almost dusty and feather-light. Imagine the softness of cornstarch or luxury compact powder. This dusty feeling on your palate helps create balance in the same way a tingly acidity does. We call these tannins evolved, integrated, or elegant. Try an experiment. Without drinking any wine, swallow. You know that just dry enough, satisfying moment. That is how evolved and elegant tannins should feel. Tannins, just like acidity, are a major part of food and wine pairing. When you're eating something really saucy or juicy, the drying quality of tannins helps maintain a balance of dryness on your palate. If you know you enjoy that feeling of dusty or polished tannins on the palate, look for thicker-skinned grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, Syrah, Sangiovese, Tempranillo, and Nebbiolo. As I mentioned earlier, winemaking and aging also have a lot to do with how tannins evolve in the wine. So does the growing region and climate. Cooler temperatures and harsh conditions can produce thicker-skinned grapes and tougher tannins. Grapes need tough skins to survive, and with tough skins come tougher tannins. Hot, sunnier weather produces softer, rounder tannins, and that comes across on the palate as well. To wrap things up, I brought a Barolo, which is notorious for its tannic structure. And I thought, since we've talked about so much over the past few days, we could taste this wine together step by step. If you've got a Barolo, pour yourself a glass now if you haven't already. If you brought a Barolo to today's lesson, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you haven't subscribed or enrolled, now is a great time to click that link down below. That way you can stay up to date with us, what we're drinking, what we're tasting and smelling, and get the class notes. All right, let's do this. I brought a Paolo Schiavino Barolo 2007. This wine is pretty old, so it's got that brick red, translucent color we talked about in the earlier episodes. Remember to always look at your wine against a white background, even a paper towel. Barolo has some of the most distinctive and complex aromatic qualities. That is why wine connoisseurs get so excited about it. In addition to a high-toned cherry note, and by high-toned I mean an almost vertical, pristine cherry note, Barolo also has notes of black licorice, anise, and even aromas of tar. That sounds crazy, right? But that is exactly why you have to practice smelling things in real life. Today, I brought black licorice, Haribo, and some star anise. If you have any of these things in your house, grab them, smell them next to your Barolo, or press pause and go get some. Barolo packs quite a punch on the nose, which is why some people describe it as a big, bold wine. But the truth is, on the palate, it's actually more medium-bodied and has a beautiful silky balance of tannins, a bright red fruity acidity, and a long finish. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you've got something nice to eat with that Barolo, or at least some good company. Feel free to write to me in the comments if you want some suggestions. Tell me the vintage, what wine you're drinking. I'll give you some food pairing ideas. And don't forget to subscribe and enroll. The links are down there. Check you later.